Sairam children. Today here we are there to study one of the subject. Before I start with the subject, I'll just say ask something so that you can guess which subject we are going to start. Children, when we talk about all about the past, suppose if you're going to talk about your great grandparents' past events and all, like for example how were their lifestyles, how were our ancestors, how were their, who were all the way, who has built us who has built us in monuments in India, that all things when we talk, how we struggled in British rules and all, our great grandfathers exactly, how they have fought for our freedom, that all things when we study, that subject we are going to study today, that is, yes, definitely, that is history. So, before I start with the history, I just wanted to tell you one thing. Children, when we study history, we should not feel it as one of the boring subject. Some of the students, when they discuss with me, why ma'am we have to study history? It's all about the past event. Then what is the need to keep a record of that all things, and what is the need to study? Children, don't be under that impression that it is all over event and all past event. Children, through history we get ample of knowledge, ample of information, and also it is one of our beautiful moments which our great grandparents have given us today in our lifestyle. They have struggled, and their struggle we should not forget. That's why we are learning history. No doubt we are forgetting somewhere, but let us not forget. So we have started with the subject history. So before I start with the subject history, what is that history is all about? Let us see. Yeah, children. Sorry for the this one. What is history? History is a coherent account of the significant past events in the progress of human culture. As I told you, our great grandfathers have made their lots of efforts to make us free and make us progress in our day to day life. If they would have not struggled, definitely we would have not seen such a beautiful days which we are seeing in this generation. We have been freed from British rule because of their efforts. How they have struggled, how their lifestyle was because of British rule. They have to struggle a lot for our future generation. They were totally aware that they are not going to get any kind of benefits for struggling of this one. For example, we can get a great leader, that is Bhagat Singh. At the age of 23, he was being hanged till death. No doubt he was aware that he is going to be hanged. But did he thought about himself? No. He only thought about that after my this one, my generation, my future generation will be free. That way he thought, and he struggled. So children, so not to forget that we are studying the history. And history is one of the beautiful event. And one more thing I feel I should say, that history also teaches not to repeat the mistakes what they have done. And what is that mistake is? All the Indian rulers not at all united at that time. They were having a personal or some or the other way, they were their mutual understanding, their differences in thoughts and ideas were, that was the main thing which created other invaders to invade India, and also Britishers to rule in India. That was a great mistake by our ancestors which we should not repeat it. So we should definitely study history. Let us not forget that. Okay, children, usually this generation is having that intention. That's what I have to discuss this way. So once again, let us go through with this slide. What is history? History is a coherent account of the significant past in the progress of human culture. Exactly. Now, history is having different sets. For example, when we talk about our ape or very stone age man and all, that is ancient history. After that, when we talk about the invaders, Muhammad Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori and all, at that time, definitely you must have studied in say 6th standard, 7th standard. 6th standard you must have studied about ancient history, right? 6th you are going to study, 7th you must have studied about medieval period. Now 8th we are going to study about the modern period. Just to make it easy, the chronological order is been made to make study very easy about the history, so that we can easily study why this kind of a things. History is divided into three equal parts, that is ancient period, medieval period and modern period. Ancient period is all about the struggling of the human life for the food gatherers and all that way, which we have studied in the 6th standard. 7th standard is all about the invaders, why all invaders wanted to invade India, because India was known as golden bird, was known as golden birds. That definitely, that's why many invaders had an eye. After that also, in the modern period when we talk, it is all about the Britishers. Even Britishers were trying to come and invade, because at that time also India was considered as a golden bird. After having a like, they were just a trader, not an invader actually. Britishers, they were just a trader. Slowly they become the ruler. So that's why we have been divided history into three parts, that is ancient, medieval, modern, which you have already studied in 6th and 7th, that is ancient and medieval respectively. Now we are going to start with the modern period, which is going to tell us about the struggles by our national leaders like Mahatma Gandhi ji, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, even Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who has done the great efforts to just create a beautiful country like India. In the modern period, we are going to learn about them. After dividing the history into three equal parts, what is making history very easier to learn? That is the material sources, written sources and oral sources. This all sources means giving information about the history. Giving the information about the history is known as sources of history. All collectively history. We cannot take all things together and make a history learn into a small book. So we have divided that history information about the history into three equal different ways, by material sources, written sources and oral sources. Now what is this material? Let me highlight little about all the three. Let us go in a detail in the next one. That is, material sources is about the buildings, palaces which we see even today. That is all material sources. Written sources is all about the written documents, books, biographies, autobiographies, periodical books and all, everything informed or written by writers of that time, great writers of that time, scholars even. They have written many things about the rulers as well as the invaders at that time. That was when also kept it as a record. That is what it is known as written record, written sources, written information, one and the same. When we call about the third, it is all oral sources. We can call it about like, just an example, I just wanted to give you the oral sources. When you talk or communicate with your granny or with your parents, they must be discussing with you, okay, in our child days or in our school days, we used to be said like that. My mother used to say like this. Even your granny must be saying, in our school days when we used to go, teacher used to teach like this, and we used to go and have a tiffin since morning to evening. That all things, when she communicates in a oral form, that is known as oral sources. Exactly. But that oral sources has also been recorded in one of the book or written in the form of, that is known as oral sources. We can call it as a song. Many oral sources also come under the songs. Yes, we have a what we call now Rani Padmavat movie, which you are called about. Sorry to just say, but just just to say about that, it's all saying about the oral, written, how was her lifestyle, how she used to behave and all. That all things we have gained from the people, local people who used to stay there. So that oral source is also included in that movie. No doubt that is something extra which is about the songs and all. Let us forget about that. But just wanted to tell you, when we talk about material sources and written and oral, some information we get it about from there. Now we have a Maharashtra, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. When we talk about oral source, one of my relatives said it just recently happened. One of my relatives told me that Maharashtra Shivaji Maharaj is staying in Kolhapur only. I said, oh, right now he is always there. No, no, he used to stay there. Okay, so actually they are not literate or something. So I just wanted to discuss. As a history teacher, my eagerness grew. I have to go and search. Then they started saying our ancestors were from the Shivaji family. So, but no, they don't have any proof or something as such. It's their saying, that is oral source. I personally visited that place to just find out what is that oral source, like what is that Shivaji Maharaj family belongs to, how they are right now. No doubt, they are just oral source, but we don't have any other written proof or something like that. So it just that is an example for the oral source, children. Okay, just to make us easier about the history sources in that is history information very clearly. So we have been categorized into material source, written source, and oral source. We can call it as material information, written information, and oral information. Now next is detail about the material source. When we talk about material source, can you see, children, it is written about the objects, monuments, places, coins, sculptures, etc. Definitely, I am reading it from the slide, can be included in the material source of history. But what about apart from history, material source? Material source which we can see lively even today. Even today, no doubt it was made in the ancient period or medieval period, whatever. About the I have heard about the Parliament House, which is there even today in Delhi. In there is a Mughal garden. It has been said. It has been kept as a record. That is also known as material source. So Mughal garden, Mughals at the medieval period, but still it has been preserved as a history. Definitely, it's no doubt they were invaders, but their buildings and all we are keeping it as a just a monuments for our record. What is this material source is all about? Now next in detail, material source we have ample, children, that is objects, coins and all. For coins, I can tell you again, I'll ask your parents, especially your parents or grandparents. Even your parents must be having a coins, 5 paise coins, 10 paise coins, 20 paise coins. That coins they used to use it in their childhood, and many of them are having a habit of preserving coins, 5 paise, 10 paise. No doubt, your generation is not going to come with that paise of a coin. Nowadays, it's high, directly having a lots of big amount of money for the pocket money, no doubt. But children, when you ask your parents, they must be telling you about the coins. We are talking about very ancient time. They used to rajas used to mint the coins and all. But let us not go in that detail. You have to visit for that. You have to visit a museum. But when you talk about the coins, you can take it in the recent in your house itself. You can ask, some of must be having at least 2 to 3 coins. They must be having 25 paise coin, 5 paise coin, 10 paise coin. They preserve it as a, like some very lovable person has gifted something, this coin, as a first salary, as a first this one. So coins is also one of the material source which is even today preserved. And I have seen in one of my class, like this one museum, the child has made a full books of different coins of different age. Okay, let us go further with the sculptures, etc., monuments and places, different places. Now when we talk about monuments, it's all built by different, like Taj Mahal and all. Definitely it's one of the very important, this one Taj Mahal. We have Qutub Minar and all. This all been built during the Mughal period, but still we keep it as a record. Our material source that tells us which ruler have built it and which year and for what purpose it was been built. Okay, so this all things, monuments and all. We have one more. Okay, let us not go to Agra. So we have very close to us, Mumbai. That is in Mumbai itself we have VT. Okay, got confused. What is that VT? Yeah, it's a Victoria Terminal Memorial. It is not now VT. It was earlier called as VT. Now it has been renamed as Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus. Exactly. That also station was built by Britishers. Exactly. One of the very famous station, very crowded places. Now it is not. So very crowded, very important place, that is CST station, that is Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus station. That has also been built, that has also been considered as a material source. When we talk about different, let us go further, children. Buildings and places. These buildings include government offices, residence of officers, leaders and revolutionaries, palaces of rulers, and princely states, forts, prisons, etc. For this, children, I can give you few examples. Residence of officers. You may be aware, in a civics you must have studied about the president, prime minister, and all. They have been getting a special place to stay once they get the position of prime minister and president. So their residence is totally different. They don't come to the common people. They stay nearby, that their allotment is given. So that is why this has been given residence. It is in the Delhi Parliament House, exactly nearby that only. When we talk about residence of officers and now leaders and revolutionaries, as I gave you the example of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he is a great leader to fight for the Mughals. Now next, palaces of rulers and princely states. Forts. Many forts we have in Mumbai. Prisons. Prisons were also built by Britishers, just to, many Indian strugglers, many Indian rulers, or sorry, not rulers, sorry, leaders have tried their best to get freedom from Britishers. Just to keep them away from this all happenings, Britishers have built the prison, and one of the best example is Thane jail, which you are very close to. That jail has also been built by Britishers. So children, this Britishers have built jail just to make the people who are getting, conscious, aware about they have been ruled by some of the other person who is not belonging to our country, just to make them away from that all happenings, or just to make them, stop the social awakening among the Indian people. They have made the prisons. It's just very nearby, so I've given that example of prison of Thane jail. That is why buildings and places is also one of the example of material source. It's just a 2 or 3 we are going to study, children, that are actually ample in the material source. Let us not go much detail. If you go, then you will get confused what exactly is a material source. Material source is about the buildings and places. When we talk about different material sources, information, that is statues and memorials. And now what is statues and memorials? Children, statues and memorials, have you visited any of the nearby? Okay, we will not go much far. Thane itself will take. We have a circle, Kot Naka. Have you heard about this? When you go to the Kot Naka area, you will be able to see one of the very famous personality who has written one of the lengthiest constitution of the world. Can you guess? Exactly, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. His statue has been there because it's very near to the court, and he is the one who has written the laws and all. So his statue has been made over there, just to not to get injustice to any of the people. So justice should be followed properly. So his statues will remember, and information is given below that. When was his birth? When he died? What was his contribution? What was his family name? Like father's name, mother's name, and all. That is information is displayed below the statue. Statue and memorials. The display on the statue gives us information about the full name of the concerned person, birth and death details, briefly information about their contribution, and a biography sketch of the person. Okay, now recently it's about the Baba Sahib Ambedkar, which I gave you about the Kot Naka, which we have seen. Usually we see while traveling, we don't stand there and we read, no doubt. But still, take some time to read once you come out and all. Next, children, very recently you can come across Narendra Modi. Yes, our Prime Minister, exactly. Our Prime Minister made a very great efforts to build a statue of Iron Man. Can you guess who is that statue of Iron Man? Yeah, even it is recently built, that means you should be aware. Exactly, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Exactly, the Sardar Vallabhai Patel. His name has been, his statue has been made by our Narendra Modi ji for just to remember our Iron Man of India. So, like this, many statues just to remember about their good deeds towards the country, towards the society, towards the people. So, this all things, statues and memorials, is also one of the material sources of history, material information about the history. And when we go further about the material source, we also come across the Aga Khan Palace, which is in Pune, exactly, which is in Pune. In that palace, entire life history of Mahatma Gandhi ji is been kept. Just for our record, how was his lifestyle, how he struggled, how was a family member, how many members, what every single day about Gandhi ji, what was the struggle, and how many people were follower of Gandhi ji. Everything has been kept as a record in Aga Khan Palace, which is in Pune. Okay, this is about Gandhiji. When we talk about different other one, when we can, you must have heard about Nehru Planetarium. Exactly. There, if you go that museum, you will be able to get a full pictures of Nehruji since childhood, about his family, how about even his family background was involved in politics. That is about the struggle. Exactly, we can call it as a politics in the recent word, but earlier it was a struggle for the freedom. Their full family and even their grandparents and all, they were busy or involved in the struggle for the Indian, and they were being treated as a royal family, but still Jawaharlal Nehru ji has been followed the for the Independence Day, for the independence of our country India. Okay, let us go for the. It's all biography means it's been written about that particular person, especially about the. Then we have very great personality about the Jyotiba Phule, who has been struggled a lot. Lokmanya Tilak for the awakening of the common people by introducing Kesari, exactly, newspaper again. So this all things when we talk about, it's all about the material source. So just to remember their good deeds towards the country, towards the society, towards the people, are we are there here to start with their remembrance. We are just going through with the statues. So let us move to the next slide. Now next, that is written source. Written source is all about giving the written records about the history, written information. We have a full book in front of us, been written by some of the scholars, some of the traders even. At that time, children in India was considered as a golden bird. So many people used to come for purpose. Sorry, for trading purpose they used to come, but suddenly they feel that they should be here, and they slowly started getting a more and more income like instead of their own country. Slowly they started writing the written work about the rulers of India, and even some of the invaders who had come to our country, how they used to invade, how they used to harass the people before they invade India. So this all things have been known as written records. Now let us categorize the written record: correspondence, foreign records, accounts, newspapers, biographies, written records, periodical factory, that is records, autobiographies, books. This all things when we talk about, it's all about written records. Written sources, it's divided into two, not divided into two, sorry. Two things I have just mentioned: periodical factors, records, and autobiographies. All keeping about our ancestors, our significant events in a written form is known as written sources. Correspondence is something we are getting information from the far away, like who are staying and what is their lifestyle at that time. We are getting information over here. That is why that is known as correspondence. We have not been visited Afghanistan and all, but we know we have a written record about that rulers of that time, how was their lifestyle and all. So children, that was a correspondence. Foreign trade, foreign sources. What are foreign sources is what? The foreigners have come as a visitor. Fahim, like Abul Fazl, these people have come to India, just they wanted to see how is the lifestyle of India. They are these scholars, and after seeing to the condition of the Indian society, they feel like they should keep a record, or they should start writing about the Indian people, or Indian, what we call as a Indian record. We can keep it as, okay. Now let us move further. What is the biographies and all be written by own. Now next is newspapers and periodicals. Now what is this newspapers and all? At that time, during modern period we will talk, because medieval period and ancient period, it's something very different about the written sources about the newspapers and all. Newspapers started in the during the modern period, just to awakening the minds of the people, society, common people who have been ruled by the Britishers. So many great land national leaders have started the newspapers, which was been strictly banned by the Britishers. They have strictly said no newspaper will be distributed or should be printed, not distributed. That is a secondary. Not to make or not to print the newspapers at all. Why? The question was why, correct? Because Britishers thought this will create a big amount, like big mass of people come together against them. So they have tried their best not to give any kind of a chance to them. Like, see, now let us read the slide. Newspapers and periodical. In the in the pre-independence period, newspaper like Jnanoday, Jnan Prakash, Amrit Bazar, Patrika, Deenbandhu, Kesari acted as important source of awakening the minds of the people. When we talk about the minds of the people, people at that time were having a little illiterate, but still there were some people who were very desperate to know what is there in the newspaper. At that time, newspaper was a very important source to awake the minds of the people, common people especially. And they used to gather for some time to read what has been printed in the newspaper, what the national leaders want to convey the message to the people. So that was the efforts taken by the common people at that time. So that was the main thing what even national leaders wanted. So they started making they started printing different newspapers in different languages also. Yeah, because we don't have only one single language like main single Hindi or English, but we have many languages. So even national leaders have taken an efforts to print the newspaper according to the reading of that particular area where they have started. For Kesari is an example of Marathi itself. So maps and diagrams. Now what is this maps and diagrams, children? The changing nature of a city or a particular location can be traced through maps. The Survey of India was an independent department established during the British period. Children, maps and diagrams, when we talk about, it's all about the development of the uh, lifestyle of India. Maps. Before we start with the construction, just an example. Construction, we just give the estimation. This is a building. Here will be the drainage. Here will be the school. Here will be the market, and all. We just make a column and then we start constructing the building on that particular area. But what about the modern time? At that time it was not as such. At that time there were no airways and all. There was only ship, that is waterways and roadways. So at that time people used to, modern period, people used to find difficult to travel, so they have to maintain a maps and diagrams in which direction they have went and how they have traveled, which all direction they have to go through, then only they can reach India or some other country respectively. For that purpose, maps and diagrams were being very popular at that time. But let us go through only one. Over here is there. Just give an example of Survey of India was an independent department established during the British period, because Mumbai their trade system, how to do the trading and all during that time was also another topic for them. Survey of India was an independent. Now they wanted to know which all places have been having a ample of wealth, so they have to go through with that all things. So next, for example, the Department of Mumbai Port Trust has the original plan of the Bombay Port. Information about the development of Bombay city can be understood through the plans drafted by architects and engineers. Our Mumbai city is very planned one during that time because it is very next to the market, as well as it is one of the center to the coastal areas and all, surrounded, not very close, but almost surrounded to the coastal areas also, where they can travel seaways through sea routes. So they were planned during that time, whose period, that is during the British rule. They have planned, that is Bombay Port. Now we will call it as Mumbai, no doubt we have changed it, Mumbai Port. So that all things are having in that original, that during the British rule. So before I come to an end, children, we have left with one more this one information, that is oral information about the history, that we will do in the next class. So before we start with the next class, I just wanted to do the exercise which has been displayed in front of you right now, children, and I want you to solve this. So choose the correct alternative and fill in the blanks. I have given you the example of Thane, but it is not cellular jail. It is some other jail. Find out by reading the textbook. So choose the correct alternative and fill in the blanks. First one, cellular jail is in dash. I want you to do it next time. I may ask you what is the answer for this. Sevagram Ashram is situated at dash. Information about contemporary events is provided by dash. Weekly Prabhakar was written by dash. Now where is Aga Khan Palace? I think I have given an example. How are statues important to us? Even this I have given an example. We have recently about the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Exactly what is going to give information about this? What is the importance of it? Third, name some important newspapers which were published in the pre-independence period. Even this I have given Kesari, Dinbandhu, exactly. So this is a, in short, last I have discussed also, children. So please do the reading of entire till written source of the from the textbook and try to find out the answer. Thank you. Stay home. Stay safe. Thank you.